Hi, I'm Dr. Kurt Woeller for Dr. Trincatella. We are of Integrative Medicine Academy. The title of this short video is Functional Medicine Mastery Course, How to Get Started in Functional Medicine. So the Functional Medicine Mastery Course through Integrative Medicine Academy is a very comprehensive online course for healthcare practitioners interested in incorporating more about functional medicine and integrative medicine into their practice, both from a laboratory standpoint, nutritional supplements, dietary intervention, and then troubleshooting very complex health conditions, which are quite common in our day-to-day practices. Let me say a few things about our current situation. So this is spring of 2020. And the current COVID-19 situation is clearly a problem. We have a worldwide pandemic that's affecting millions of people, not only here in the United States, but around the world. And so we're all facing an unfortunate global economic problem, as well as a health care system problem. And our prayers certainly go out to those families and individuals who've been directly affected by this infection. But the reality too is that, in this, none of us really knows at this point what tomorrow brings or what the next week is going to look like. So clearly one thing's for sure is that our world will certainly look different than it is today. And that may be for better or worse in certain circumstances. And so we do know that the COVID-19 pandemic is going to radically change the way we do business. And as healthcare providers, it's clearly going to change the way healthcare is delivered here in the United States and certainly other places in the world as well. It's also going to change the way our country governs itself, even at the state level. And so one thing that I've reflected on in this whole situation is there's nothing in this world that's forever and absolute. So not our economy, not our businesses, not our savings or retirements, not our own health, and so much more. But I also understand that there's an opportunity in this as people start to reflect on their own lives, as healthcare providers reflect on their own profession, what motivates them, what drives them, what's meaningful in their life. And so when you think about incorporating functional medicine into your practice, one of the questions you have to ask yourself is what motivates you? What inspires you as an individual? Not only personally, but also from a health professional standpoint. And where do you see yourself 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, a decade from now? And is this crisis forcing you to reevaluate how your business works, what your career goals are? What are some of your personal pursuits? And then obviously from a professional standpoint as well. And I think the reality is that this current pandemic is a wake-up call that life and circumstances for any of us can change dramatically and change very fast. So one of the questions that I asked myself and others asked of me many years ago when I got into functional medicine was, what kind of business am I in? What kind of business are you in? And there's many examples in history, and this is just one. The Pullman Train Company was the maker of high-end luxury cars back at the turn of the century. And Pullman had an opportunity, because of their name, to reinvent themselves, or at least attempt to grab a part of the market share when it came to travel. So they were actually the most luxurious way to travel. The problem is that Pullman really thought they were in the train industry when in fact they were in the transportation industry. And when the car was first developed and then mass produced, Pullman didn't keep up and they soon vanished. And there's certainly been many other examples like this from a business standpoint throughout history, and most likely in the current situation, it'll be the same. So the type of business that we feel we are in, and you as well as an individual listening, is really the business of information. Through your knowledge, through your experience, you're able to take this information and start to work out the puzzle pieces of a patient's health scenario. And certainly if you're conventionally trained, there's certainly a lot to learn from a functional integrative medicine standpoint, or perhaps you were already taught, let's say, from a naturopathic school or chiropractic school. Well, there's certainly something to be learned from the conventional approach as well. And so there's value that's brought from all different angles. But the idea is we're taking that information, figuring out the puzzle, and then through our experience, being able to deliver that to an individual who's coming to us for health education information. And really at the core of all of us as healthcare practitioners is our compassion to care, our ability to help people, our desire to want to help individuals who are struggling with their health. And I really believe that functional medicine and integrative medicine are a tremendous benefit to society in being able to learn the principles and practices of doing this type of healthcare in your practice and for your patient population. And one of the things that has to go along with this is developing information and developing your message. Now, partly that can occur from website development that then spills over into articles that you write or blogs, practice consistent newsletters that are going out to your database. One of the most tremendous ways you can drive business to your practice is public speaking. Not the favorite of most people, but it's a powerful medium. But it doesn't have to occur, to the level where you're speaking in front of, conferences. But even just speaking to local support groups, or what I did years ago is speaking in health food stores many times. The goal is to provide comprehensive information and a consistent message about who you are, what you do, and how you can help. One of the most powerful ways to do this is by creating videos, and all of us now have cameras, smartphones that have video. So it's actually extremely easy now to do this. If you want to get an idea of what I've done over the years in just creating videos, is go onto Vimeo or go onto YouTube and type in Dr. Woeller videos. And there's a host of these going back many years. Most of these are just either off a simple camera or off an iPhone. And I got better at it as time went on. But this is one of the most incredible ways of driving practice or people to your practice, seeing you on video. We know that there's a public demand for our knowledge and for our help. And that's important for you as a practitioner to understand, is that the minute you step into this world of functional medicine, integrative medicine, there will be a demand for your services because people are hungry for help. They're hungry for a different way of approaching their underlying health. And this plays out going back many years now, even from the National Institutes of Health, looking at the billions of dollars that people are spending out of pocket. Even the Centers for Disease Control recognizes that a huge percentage of the U.S. population, again, out-of-pocket dollars in looking for integrative health practitioners, complementary health products, or taking classes, or more material, things that they can work on themselves. Medical schools are certainly getting into the mix, and even certain hospitals are recognizing the importance of this. And some of these statistics actually are old. They're from some of them 7-8 years old now. So things have even changed more. And even some of the major players in our healthcare system in the United States, from the Cleveland Clinic to Stanford, have either centers for functional medicine, or Stanford, for example, has its own center for integrative medicine. So these are recognized entities now. And so the public is demanding it, which means the conventional medical system is starting to incorporate it, which means there is a tremendous opportunity for you to incorporate it as well. And so really the key to getting started with functional medicine is having an open mind, willing to try new things and keep learning. And that can mean certainly going to in-person conferences, but also taking things online in the comfort of your own home. Because there's a lot of great material that is accessible online. And I think as time goes on, will become even more so. We all have been trained as medical professionals on differential diagnosis, and that doesn't change when you incorporate functional and integrative medicine concepts into your practice. It's always important to still look at your patient from a broad perspective. But through lifestyle and diet and certain foundational supplements, this starts to get things moving in a more comprehensive way. Certainly, there's a lot of different kinds of lab tests, from blood chemistry to stool analysis to food sensitivity. All of that we discuss within the Functional Medicine Mastery course, and how to incorporate it, how to interpret it, and how to correlate the data back to the clinical presentation of your patient. And then work at prioritizing interventions, program development, etc. Troubleshooting, for example. So I'm Dr. Kurt Woeller. I'm an osteopathic physician that has been in practice now for since the late 90s, well over almost 25 years or so, short of that, along with my practice partner, Dr. Trecatella, who's a licensed naturopathic physician. And we are the course instructors for the Functional Medicine Mastery course. So we approach this topic from a very in-depth standpoint, not only from our understanding of functional and integrative medicine, but from a clinical standpoint too. And so what we really demand of people who are coming to this course is to really be able to think through things logically, think critically, and then how to apply things, from a critical standpoint in, using the data and using what you already know as a healthcare practitioner to deepen your knowledge. So for more information about the Functional Medicine Mastery course, you can go to functionalmedicinemasterycourse.com, read through the homepage of the website. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us at functionalmedicinemasterycourse@gmail.com. Again, this is Dr. Kurt Woeller for the Functional Medicine Mastery course. Thank you.